as the two ladies on the mid part of the floor meet and get things underway. Angelica Wilson-Reed, that is for Alcorn, and Carlisha Walker for UAPB. And immediately you've got a turnover on the carry, and instead of the home team being in possession of the round ball, it'll be the visitors out of Mississippi.
I know Coach is not happy with that. One thing that he mentioned was that his team really needs to take care of the ball because Alcorn really maximized off of their turnovers last game. So it's going to be very important.
Total confusion on the floor as to who was at which end of the floor. You had everyone positioned on this end, which would be, I guess, I don't know, my directions are pretty messed up, but I would say the south end of the floor. The north end of the floor was the bucket for Alcorn, and they lay it in for an easy two.
That's a mental mistake that you just cannot afford. It's very early, but it shows the focus of the team. If you're making such a mistake this early, it just makes you wonder what the rest of the tone of the game will be like.
Over the course of I don't know how many years I've seen a lot of basketball, I cannot recall seeing a game where one team forgot which end of the floor they were supposed to defend.
I don't recall seeing that either.
There is a foul over near the baseline. And the official stopping play going to the score table. And maybe not a foul. That might be an issue with the shot clock because the official holding up play. And obviously the official that called the foul and pointed to the baseline, it's really not his call to make. So there must be some type of issue related to the shot clock in there. Indeed it is. 6 seconds are taken off down to 17. Turn around, and there's the lady we anticipate putting some points on the board tonight, Carlisha Walker.
Carlisha Walker is getting off to a great start. She is the leader of this team. So Coach says that when she leads the team, everyone else follows. And that's a great beginning.
Strain, who's had a couple of double-doubles, puts it into the corner to Brown. Back over to Strain. Couple of opportunities. There is a reach around the side of Wilson-Reed, and the official calling for a jump ball. Reaching around is Molly Campbell.
Last time these two teams met, Alcorn out-rebounded UAPB. It's going to be imperative that they make sure they find a man, box out, and rebound.
Bounce pass over to Brown. Pulls up, fires, misfires. Offensive rebound, though, and another opportunity. Lost into the paint, picked up by Destiny Ham. Down the floor it will go. Richardson lays it up and in. All sports can have some unusual happenings. Obviously, we talked about the opening points, but even right there where you've done everything right Alcorn-wise, you get the offensive rebound. I mean, it's very early. Obviously, we're not talking about domination yet, but it's just one steal, one trip down to the other end of the floor, and you got a bucket, and here it goes again as UAPB now builds the 4-point lead.
Yeah, teams have to make sure they take care of the ball because it's so easy for the other team to get that steal and score off of that turnover, and you want to limit that as much as possible.
Another turnover in the paint. Trying to get the toss in was Brown. There is a reciprocating turnover as the steal is made by Cunningham. Top of the key to Wilson-Reed. On the floor, into the paint, outside of the arc. Shot from Strain. It is no good.
Speaking of turnovers, last time these two teams met, Alcorn had 15 points off of UAPB's turnover. So they have to keep that in mind as they're playing today and at home to take care of that ball.
And off to Richardson. Of course, in that starting lineup, you saw him in pregame, but again, Richardson, Campbell, Ham, Walker, and Richardson, Diamond, and Azia for UAPB. And then for the Braves, you've got Cunningham, Brown, Strain, Haynes, and Wilson-Reed.
I had to ask Coach how to pronounce her name. It's Asia, just spelled in a interesting way.
Wilson-Reed with a walk.
Sometimes you can get so excited about penetrating to the basket that your feet start to flutter. You have to make sure you put that ball down first.
Shakiria Dubois is checking into the lineup. She is a 5'4" freshman from Houston, Texas. Destiny Ham Over to the timeline, right side, almost stepped out of bounds. That heel nearly caught the sidelines. Haynes wanted it more seated and actually laying, gives it to Strain, and Strain double dribbles.
Looked like Hayes is taking a second to get up there. That was a great hustle by her, though. Not giving up on that ball and diving on the floor. That's a true athlete.
Molly Campbell, the sophomore from Manchester, England. Handling the inbounds, gives it over to Ham. Runs into a little Cunningham defense around the mid part of the floor. Three-point shot. There is a walk by Diamond Richardson prior to the tray, which was dropped into the bottom of the barrel. But when you walk first, the bucket doesn't count.
Both teams have happy feet, seems like, early on. They both need to calm down and just play their game.
Looked like Cunningham was thinking about the three. Campbell may have changed her mind. Into the corner it goes. Bounce pass. Hit Wilson Reed on the shin, but able to recover are the Lady Braves as Dubose sends it over to Cunningham. Cross court, three-point try from Strain, and she drops it in to make it a one-point game.
That was a big shot by Jasmine Strain. She is a big guard that can easily have doubles. And she's getting used to playing that guard position, but that shot right there shows that she's getting in her groove.
Simply taken away, and then the foul committed. Destiny Ham reaching in and getting a foul on Cunningham. And now there was a timeout on the floor. With a timeout, we're going to take a break as well. 15:22 left to play. Half number one. A one-point advantage.
Toyota SWAC basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. 5 days of non-stop action, and it all goes down March 10th through the 14th. The SWAC is driven by passion and motivated by pride, because in the SWAC, history will be made. We do it for the love of the game. Visit www.swackhoops.org.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
6-5 advantage, 15:22 left to go, half number one. It's the home team on top, but it's sloppy early, not quite 5 minutes in, but a very sloppy game. You know, we were talking about the fact that the delay, maybe it has an impact on tonight's game, but maybe it's got a greater impact on games they play later in the week because the break is shorter between this game and the next.
Right, both teams would typically have today off, and now they're playing, so hopefully they can just recover quickly, make sure that they bring all the energy that they have and leave it on the court, but being able to adjust to anything that comes at them.
Strain has all 5 Alcorn points. The UAPB points have been split between Ham, Walker, and Richardson. Dubose bringing it around to the left side, looking into the corner. That is Strain, who's got all 5 points. Anticipating a pass instead to Cunningham on the opposite side.
Jasmine Strain was key in their last meeting against UAPB. She had a double-double with 11 points and 10 rebounds. She's well on her way to doing that, but she also needs some help.
This is an Alcorn team that struggled a little bit here of late. They lost 3 games before winning the game against Mississippi Valley on Saturday. What creates those issues? I know even on the men's side, you had a UAPB team that win 4 straight, that beat some of the top teams in the league, and all of a sudden they're struggling. Why the on-again, off-again performance?
Well, they started the year pretty strong, and the conference play really strong. I guess with so many games being played and the wear and tear on your body, sometimes you can get fatigued and mentally tired. But Coach was saying that she spoke with them and gathered her troops back together and gave them a pep talk and told them that they have to end strong and they have to understand that during the season you may win some, you may lose some, but you have to finish strong.
Strain's doing everything for Alcorn, not only scoring all points, she's picking up some of the fouls as well. Foul committed there by Strain.
On the line we have Diamond Richardson from Long Island, New York. And she usually shoots 47% from the line.
Pretty close to that. 1 for 2, a 50-50 trip to the stripe for Richardson.
Oh, check that, 70% from the line.
Okay, then maybe not as good as normal. Over it goes to Strain, brings it into the paint. Off the fingertips of Henrietta Wells, the 6'2 sophomore from Memphis in the lineup. Shemai Goodman, a 5'6 freshman. Chicago, Illinois is home for Goodman. She is in now as well. Foul committed.
That was a great move by Kalisha Walker. Even though she's a guard, she made a great post move. 2 dribble to the middle and then turning around. Similar to that with her up and under, showing her post moves. I know with all that effort in the move and not finishing on the shot, it hurts you as a player.
Walker with a walk, 7-5 score, low scoring thus far. Turnaround Jay, Wilson Reed, air ball.
Both teams need to play with more intensity. They're moving sort of lackadaisical. I don't know if it's the weather or the day off, but the energy level has to increase.
Walker kicking it over to Richardson, fires away with a 3. Wilson Reed, who grabs better than 8 rebounds per outing, snags one there. Dubose into the corner. Strain with a bounce pass, shot clock running out. Strain trying to recover. There's 2 on the shot clock before you get a jump ball that will send us to the UAPB into the floor.
Alcorn has really been struggling to score this season, especially the last few games. And one thing that they're going to have to do tonight is knock down those shots that they would typically miss because they're not home.
Into the corner goes Goodman.
We spoke about the last meeting against Alcorn and UAPB, but the last 3 times that UAPB has encountered Alcorn, they have lost. So with knowing that, they should definitely have a chip on their shoulder and being and ready to take this game.
Sharice Carr in the lineup. She's a 5'8 senior from Dearborn, Michigan. How difficult is it for Nate Kilber, the head coach at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff? It's his 2nd year here, but he took over a program that had some very lengthy losing streaks, struggled, and he's trying to rebuild. How long is that transformation process?
I don't think you can put a number on it because it depends on so many factors. When you have your players, depending on if they're coachable or what their specialty is, but gradual progress is the goal. And with Coach has been coaching for over 24 years, and he's been a head coach for over 14 years. And one great thing about him, which I know that he's excited to do this season and really anxious to do, is have his 150th career win. That's a huge accomplishment. A lot of coaches can't say that they have done that.
So congratulations to Coach Kilburn. Misha Jones has checked in for the Lady Braves, the 6'4 senior from Memphis, Tennessee. Timeout on the floor with inside 12 to play. 7-5 to score as we take a break on the SWAC Digital Network.
Your life is an open book. At the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, you can take advantage of scholarship opportunities and acclaimed academics with undergraduate and graduate programs tailored to achieve your plans. Learn from dedicated faculty and be challenged to reach your full potential. Get involved in campus life with student activities that add value to your character and give distinction to your collegiate experience. Become a part of the Golden Lion story at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, where you'll be proud to be.
A wise man once said, "You can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea." What he meant was that knowledge is eternal. It's a lesson learned, a goal achieved, and it can be passed on from generation to generation, just like it is every day at Alcorn. Both knowledge and the character it takes to use it wisely. Alcorn, where knowledge and character matter.
SWAC Digital Network proud to be in Pine Bluff, Arkansas for coverage of UAPB and Alcorn State basketball. Today's SWAC Digital Network broadcast brought to you by Toyota. It is also brought to you by the Home Depot, Russell Athletics, Nike, and Coca-Cola making coverage possible as well. As we've got one and done, and to the other end of the floor we go.
UAPB seems to be struggling against this Alcorn zone, but Alcorn is struggling scoring. So Alcorn needs to pick it up, knock down those shots as we mentioned, make sure that they meet the pass, and UAPB needs to find those gaps in the zone, create that spacing so that they can have more room to work with.
Out it goes off the fingertips of Amber Hagee. She is the 6-foot senior from Yazoo, Mississippi. Last break, 5 points were on the board for Alcorn State, and all 5 belong to Strang. Last time, 7 were on the board for the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and we still got 7 on the board now. Ham, Walker, and Richardson playing a role in the scoring for Arkansas.
The important thing about knocking down shots is that when you get your jumper going, you start to think you've got it going offensively, and you start to get a momentum. So that's the importance of knocking down these shots here.
Couple of misses, couple of rebounds, and now you've got a whistle that's got us going the other way. Foul is committed by Jasmine Cunningham, and that is 5 now on Alcorn. Right now, we are averaging about a point a minute.
Yeah, this may be a low-scoring game here.
I think you may be right. As Goodman, it turns into an assist to herself. Tried to get it over into the hands of Richardson. Bounced off Richardson. Back to Goodman. She gets the 2. Brown popping it from 12 feet out.
That's Olivia Brown. She is leading Alcorn scoring with 12.6. One of the only ones who average double figures on Alcorn's team.
Bounce pass into the paint. Hagee unable to hang on. Jasmine Victorian putting up the shot, won't drop. And then she drops on the round ball as Wilson Reed fights for that loose ball as well. The jump ball's got us going to the Alcorn end. Don't forget the 2015 SWAC Men's and Women's Indoor Track and Field Championships held this weekend at the Birmingham Crossplex. Finals to be carried live right here on the SWAC Digital Network. Visit swac.org for more information. Duos picking up the triple. Over to Haynes. Wilson Reed couldn't get rid of it primarily because of that big paw of Victoria.
Yeah, she ran into a brick wall there. When you have a post player who's bigger than you, you have to maximize on those post moves. But we spoke about how this will be a low-scoring game. Last time these two teams came against each other, it was a low-scoring game as well, 39-45. So it seems like it's on the way to be the same thing.
So the last time teams averaged about 22, the winning team 22 a half, that being Alcorn, and the losing team averaged about 18 and a half. So I guess we're right on track for something similar. And even when it looks like points are going to be scored, Golden Lions committing the infraction that gives it back to Alcorn. So take those points off the board and put a foul under the foul column. 3-point try. Brown miss. Strain and Victorian trying to get the rebound.
You see a lot of purple jerseys under there jumping for the rebound. You don't see too many UAPB jerseys boxing out. That's going to affect them in the long run if they don't make the adjustment.
Victorian committing the personal. It is Victorian coming up with a loose ball after the Haynes miss. Michaela Wormley, a 6'1" senior from Grapevine, Texas, checking into the lineup for UAPB. Victorian off on the perimeter shot. Is that the kind of shot you want Victorian take?
Well, she was wide open, and she's one of the leading scorers of this team. So, yeah, that's a shot that she needs to take and knock down.
Brown with a walk.
Olivia Brown, she's a transfer into this Alcorn program, and she's still getting used to the system. A couple of weeks ago, she hurt her shoulder and has been a bit tentative since then with penetrating and scoring, and she's trying to find her groove again, and that's to be expected with an injury such as that.
Carr with a miss. It will roll out in the corner. Strain keeping Golden Lions at bay while it rolls out of bounds, and Alcorn will have it. Antra Ramanier, a 6'1" junior from Arizona, into the lineup. (9-7) score, 8:28 left to play in the first half. Victorian able to swat away the pass from Strain.
You have to fake a pass to make a pass in order to get that post entry, in order to have the most effective post entry pass.
Wilson Reed with a look inside. Haynes is battling the near inside and tries to put the shot over Munir. It's grabbed by Victorian.
That was a great move, but it's so frustrating when you can't end with a shot.
Goodman walking it to the left side, all the while looking inside. Nobody in the paint currently. It's Victorian who takes a trip through it. Over it goes to Carr. Short of the 3-point try.
Hayes is all over the floor, doing all the hustle plays. She's taking charges. She's getting rebounds. She's scoring.
Dubois is coming up with a loose ball.
She's just a strong presence for Alcorn, really leading them right now.
Strain. Air ball on the 3, winds up in the hands of Goodman. Into the paint, leads in. There is a offensive on Goodman. Ran into Haynes. Okay, give me your diagnosis of the charge there. Is that a charge or a defensive infraction?
It looked like her feet were still, and that would make her second offensive charge she's taken today. She is really turning up the defense. Now let's see if they can get it going on the offensive end.
7:15 left in the first half.
Toyota SWAC basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. 5 days of non-stop action, and it all goes down March 10th through the 14th. The SWAC is driven by passion and motivated by pride, because in the SWAC, history will be made. We do it for the love of the game. Visit www.swackhoops.org.
Started my Camry. Went to the auction. Won a storage locker. Found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
9-7 game, 7-13 left to play here in the first half. Strain with almost all of the Alcorn State points. Brown with the others, and she gets 2 more.
Olivia Brown looks like she's finding her offensive groove right now.
How about 9-9 score-wise, 10-10 turnover-wise?
Yeah, both teams are not doing a great job of taking care of the ball, and they really need to take better care of the ball in order to score, in order to give themselves a chance to score.
Wormley putting up the 3 on the UPB end of the floor. There was a foul called on the opposite end.
Coach Edwards was talking about how taking care of the ball has been Alcorn's Achilles heel when the pressure is on. So they have to make sure that that's one thing they focus on, because they've been working on that in practice.
Munier picking up the foul. That's her first. It is the 6th, one away from putting Alcorn at the line with a bonus. Strain into the short corner, brought out by Haynes. And now Strain. Looked like an easy 2, but not so easy. Victorian with the REB.
Victorian has to make those little chippers. Noriana was able to draw the defense over to her, and she had a wide open layup. One dribble or no dribble and get that ball in the basket.
Wormley's got it over near the timeline. Strain, all kinds of defense. Dumped over to Victorian. Shot clock at 5. Victorian's got to put it up with the left hand. She drops it in.
That is a great move by Jasmine Victorian. She has the potential to be one. She has the potential to have a big game tonight. She is all over the floor, even though it's not showing up on the stats. She is making her presence known. So she has to keep this groove going.
I believe that was Wormley. No, not Wormley. It is Munier who is charged with a personal. She will come out of the lineup, and Carlisha Walker will check back in. 7 fouls now on the home team, and that's got Wilson Reed at the line trying to pick up her first points of the game.
Yeah, Wilson Reed, she's a 6-foot sophomore from San Diego, California. And typically shoots about 70% from the line.
At the last media timeout, Alcorn shooting 16% from the floor, and UAPB shooting 28%.
Alcorn is actually doing much better offensively than the last time these two teams met. Last time at their home, it was 12-0 UAPB's advantage. So they're trying to maximize on scoring the ball.
Haven't been many of them, but you got one there from Brown. Olivia putting in the 3-pointer, and it gives Alcorn the advantage by 1. 30-second timeout. Let's keep it right here with 4 minutes, 48 seconds left to play in half number 1. And give you a reminder that the 2015 SWAC Men's and Women's Golf Championship takes place at the Lakes of the Bayou and Oak Wing Golf Club in Alexandria, Louisiana. Happens the 20th through the 22nd of April. Obviously, though, there's a huge championship coming up in March, not very far away from the SWAC basketball tournament at the Toyota Center, and we're all looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so exciting. Last year, the teams came to play, the concerts were amazing, and this year it's going to be even better.
Well, you know it's going to be amazing, if there is such a word, because of that old school concert. Yeah. Salt and Pepper.
Oh yes.
112. The inside look by Ham, got another whistle.
I like the defensive pressure that Shakiria Dubose is putting up in the post. She's only about 5'5", but she is playing hard in that post.
Dubose picking up the personal. Walker trying to get around Haynes. Can't. Put it up, got the rim. Haynes with the RAP.
Hayes has been doing a great job rebounding tonight. Let's see if they can maximize on offense.
Dubose, 4-3.
That was a great way to knock down the open shot by Dubose.
Back-to-back threes. You had Brown with one. Now you've got Dubose with another. And Alcorn trying to widen the gap a bit, up by 4 with 4 minutes to play in the half.
Well, they recognize that someone needs to separate themselves on the scoring margin.
3-point try. That was Ham. There is a whistle and there is a foul on Victorian. She's picked up her second.
That was a great, strong rebound by Jasmine Strand. She's a key factor for this team in carrying their scoring load.
Timeout of the media variety. So let's take a break as well. 3:48 left to play, half number 1. Alcorn with their largest lead of the game.
Toyota SWAC basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. 5 days of non-stop action, and it all goes down March 10th through the 14th. The SWAC is driven by passion and motivated by pride, because in the SWAC, history will be made. We do it for the love of the game. Visit www.swackhoops.org.
Started my Camry. Went to the auction. Won a storage locker. Found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota. Let's go places.
15-11. The advantage belonging to Alcorn State. Alcorn trying to get the sweep of the regular season, but more importantly, trying to position themselves in that upper tier going into the conference tournament, because you want to be playing the bottom tier teams. You don't want to be at the bottom playing those upper tier teams early.
Right, you want to give yourself the best chance to be successful. So a win right now for Alcorn will help separate them a little from the pack.
Strain, 6 points now, went 1 for 2. Ham with a handoff to Goodman. Walker gave an inside look. Crossing through the lane was Richardson. And then Walker bringing it inside, switches to the left hand. Shot is no good. It is rebounded by Wilson Reed. Over to Brown.
Pine Bluff needs more of the penetration game as opposed to the shot. Give themselves a higher percentage shot.
It may be Haynes charged with a foul. It is. She got herself free, was able to free herself up, create some separation between she and Carlisha Walker, but apparently fouled to create that separation.
I believe she disagrees with the call. Feels like she's just being aggressive, and that's part of the game, but she has to keep that intensity up, that same fire that she has right now.
Count the bucket for Ham. Haynes just a little bit strong on the 3. It is grabbed by Ham. Into the paint, Walker. From the short corner, Goodman just a little bit short. Molly Campbell back into the lineup, getting the rebound. Walker off the glass for 2.
Alicia Walker in the post, doing her thing as usual, showing her presence.
Tanya Edwards asking for the timeout. 2 minutes, 28 seconds left to play. First half about what you anticipated, or?
Well,
A little less than you anticipated point-wise.
A little less point-wise, but there's a whole nother half, and it seems like these teams are trading baskets. One team will have to separate themselves out of the pack here in order to give themselves advantage toward the end of the game, because you don't want it to come down to free throws or leave it to chance.
There was a point that Alcorn looked like maybe he was starting to create that separation. There was a 4-point lead, 15-11. Then you got the shots by UAPB that gets them right back into the ball game. Only a 1-point difference here with 2:28 to play in the half.
Yeah, this game is about runs, so whoever has the largest run will end up victorious in the end.
Dubois bounce pass goes to Wilson Reed. Reed is typically a little noisier than she has been today thus far. Not necessarily your offensive scoring leader, but she is certainly a force to be reckoned with scoring-wise, but it's her rebounding that gets her the headlines.
Yeah, Angelique, she is the team glue. She holds it down defensively, and she makes up for a lot of the mistakes on offense. So when she's doing well, the team is doing well.
Strange stepped out and bumped into Destiny Ham, called with a foul that's got Ham shooting.
Destiny Ham, a senior from Marietta, Georgia. She's been doing really well this season and averaging 62% from the line.
Strain picking up the dribble, over it goes. Dubois into the paint, able to get around Campbell, missed the shot. Wilson Reed fouled, and she will head to the stripe. There's the Wilson Reed we are anticipating. Getting the putbacks, getting second and third opportunities for the Lady Braves, and there she creates an opportunity at the line.
Right, just being there when her teammates fall short, picking up those rebounds, and that was a great move by Dubois. She is fearless penetrating in the paint.
Another Sepp checking in, the 6'3" junior from Grand Prairie, Texas.
Dubois hit them with the in and out, and I know she was so frustrated that she couldn't finish that.
Destiny Ham doing as she does so often, bringing her down for UAPB. Over it goes to Goodman. Walker coming up to set the block and then heads to the hoop, and also heading to the hoop is Goodman for two.
That's a great take by Shammy Goodman. She has been an imperative part of this team, currently averaging 7.7 points. Had a season high of 14 points against Lane in the preseason and 13 against Philander Smith.
Sepp has it taken away by Goodman. A chance for UAPB to regain the lead, and then it's thrown away in the paint. They got it back. Goodman over Wilson Reed, bounced on the rim and comes out. Got a 3-on-2 break. Sepp in the paint.
On a shot like that, you want to take it all the way. If you have a chance to, with that height, you take one more dribble and finish. That's the difference between scoring and allowing the other team to get the ball and possibly scoring off of your mistake.
Low scoring game the last time these two teams met, and at the half it was 23-22. I don't think we're going to get to the 23-22. Dubois off the rim, and the Lady Golden Lions will have it.
Well, you surely won't get it missing chippers like that. It's so important to finish. That's going to be the name of the game today for both teams, to make sure that you knock down those easy shots.
It was an old John Denver song, and you probably don't even know John Denver, you're so young, but said some days are diamond and some days are stone. That was a stone shot right there. I mean, you know, some days it's falling for you and other days it's not.
I like that saying.
Short corner shot, count the bucket. Richardson for two.
Asia Richardson, a freshman from Pine Bluff, so she probably has some family in the stands, but she is the person that gets this team going.
Shot clock off. First half game clock down to 3.8 before the whistle blows.
Olivia Brown being assertive Instead of going east to west, making sure she gets that penetration and tries to get an easy shot. That is a great 2-dribble pull-up.
Olivia Brown off on her first free throw.
And she's a junior from Pearland, Texas, shooting 76% from the line. She has that shoulder injury, which has been slowing her down a bit in the last couple of games. But she's doing a great job tonight.
Walker steps in before releasing. Alcorn will have a chance to take the lead.
With this much time on the clock, you can't afford those mental mistakes.
Brown, and it is Alcorn that will take the lead into the locker room at halftime. And at the half, 21-19, the score I mentioned earlier. These two teams met in the season. It was a 23-22 advantage that belonged to Alcorn. This one a 21-19 advantage here at the half. Jennifer Jones is with us here instead of Jasher. I do want to say we miss Jasher. He had a tragedy in his family, and we certainly hate that. Jennifer in his stead, though, and right now I believe Jennifer Jones has got Tanya Edwards, the head coach at Alcorn State. So while she grabs Tanya Edwards, we'll send it to Jennifer.
Hey, Coach, I know it's a little bit loud in here. The band just started. But can you take a second to talk about Strain and Hayes? Strain with her points to help you guys out get started, and then Hayes just her hustle up and down the court the entire first half.
I couldn't hear nothing you just said. One more time.
No problem. Let's talk about Strain and Hayes. Strain with the points early guys in the game, and then hustle back and forth on the court.
When you look at Strain's been pretty consistent for us all season long, and we're still looking for her to do even more. Like you said, she was able to keep us in the game early, but right now I feel like she should have a double digits. I don't know exactly what she had, but I know it's not double digits. And Hayes, you know, young lady, she's just gonna have to be patient. Be patient and let the game come to her. Right now I feel like she's forcing it. And she just has to take her time and get into the groove of things.
Just one last question. From the first media time, you guys only had 3 rebounds. You went into the last one with 20. What was the adjustment you made underneath the basket to get the ball?
Well, I don't think we really made any adjustment, but people just started being more aggressive and doing what we've been doing all season long. And we have to control the boards. If you're not putting the ball in the basket, you got to find a way to at least get some second opportunities. So we're going to have to continue to crash the boards, but hopefully we'll be able to put the ball in the basket in the second half.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck second half. Hey, back to you, Robert.
All right, thank you very much, Jennifer. Halftime, 21-19 Alcorn State.
Toyota SWAC basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. 5 days of non-stop action, and it all goes down March 10th through the 14th. The SWAC is driven by passion and motivated by pride, because in the SWAC, history will be made. We do it for the love of the game. Visit www.swaghoops.org.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
In 1920, 6 schools came together to form a strong competitive alliance. That strong competitive alliance became the Southwestern Athletic Conference and stretches from the northeast of Alabama to the rolling plains of Texas, from the coastal marshlands of Louisiana to the Mississippi Delta to the foothills of Arkansas. Students of these 10 world-class institutions know the importance of academic achievement along with athletic excellence. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always stand as one. Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Alcorn State, Grambling State, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State, Prairie View A&M, Southern, Texas Southern, Arkansas Pine Bluff. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Your life is an open book. At the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, you can take advantage of scholarship opportunities and acclaimed academics with undergraduate and graduate programs tailored to achieve your plans. Learn from dedicated faculty and be challenged to reach your full potential. Get involved in campus life with student activities that add value to your character and give distinction to your collegiate experience. Become a part of the Golden Lion story at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, where you'll be proud to be.
A wise man once said, "You can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea." What he meant was that knowledge is eternal. It's a lesson learned, a goal achieved, and it can be passed on from generation to generation, just like it is every day at Alcorn. Both knowledge and the character it takes to use it wisely. Alcorn, where knowledge and character matter.
Welcome back. It is halftime, 21-19, your halftime score. Alcorn State with the advantage. Robert Williamson, Kante Waderma, and Kante. Interesting to me that the game began on a middle error by UAPB, and it was Alcorn State that obviously took advantage. First half ends on a middle mistake as Carlisha Walker steps in with 3 seconds to play and actually gives Alcorn an opportunity to take the lead, in which they did.
Alcorn is trying their best to maximize on any opportunities that are given to them. UAPB, on the other hand, has to limit those mental mistakes that they have been having thus far and take advantage on offense, and on defense, tighten up a bit and not allow Alcorn to score those easy buckets that they have been getting from time to time.
Alcorn's got the advantage, 2 points here in the half. I don't know if you can maintain a momentum. I don't know that that's the correct or proper approach, since nobody's really had the momentum in the first half. The biggest lead for either was 4 points. But if you're Alcorn, what do you have to do to add to this 2-point lead in the second half?
Well, the biggest thing is to make the game easy. Let the game come to you. Penetrate more, take those higher percentage shots, and do what your coach says. Calm down, run your sets, and then finish at the basket.
We want to talk about a lady that we started talking about in pregame, and that is Noriana Haynes. Haynes in the first half, rate her performance.
She hasn't been producing offensively, but defensively, she's already gotten 2 charges, which is more than a lot of people get in the game. She's grabbing rebounds. She is being that present. She is starting the offense for Alcorn. So she needs to continue that and get her offense going.
So those you mentioned, no points scored, 4 rebounds, an assist, and a steal for Noriana Haynes. We'll see how she fares in the second half. Does she have to have a heck of a game in the second half to have an Alcorn win?
Definitely her, Olivia Brown, who has contributed already greatly offensively, and just their scorers all need to step up because they do have a great offensive team.
Well, you want to win the game today so that you improve in the standings, and you want to improve in the standings because you want to get to that championship event that happens in Houston, Texas. Beyond the rim of the Houston Toyota Center, it is the 10th through the 14th, all the action. And the champion will be crowned, but there's more than just basketball. There's great concerts. How about Salt and Pepper and 112? It's the old school concerts. That one is going to be a dandy.
Oh, it's going to be great. And not only is there old school, but there are also some new school surprises, which when that comes out and is revealed is so exciting to learn about. So I'm looking forward to the tournament myself.
That's right. You've been privy to some information that we're not privy to, but there's some secret and nice surprises coming to be on the rim.
Yeah, I got the inside scoop, but when it's released, everyone will be happy.
SWAChoops.org or SWAC.org. That's where you need to go to find out more information about the tournament that happens there at the Toyota Center in March. 21-19, Alcorn State back with more from UAPB after the break on SDN.
In 1920, 6 schools came together to form a strong competitive alliance. That strong competitive alliance became the Southwestern Athletic Conference and stretches from the northeast of Alabama to the rolling plains of Texas, from the coastal marshlands of Louisiana to the Mississippi Delta to the foothills of Arkansas. Students of these 10 world-class institutions know the importance of academic achievement along with athletic excellence. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always stand as one. Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Alcorn State, Grambling State, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State, Prairie View A&M, Southern, Texas Southern, Arkansas Pine Bluff. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Your life is an open book. At the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, you can take advantage of scholarship opportunities and acclaimed academics with undergraduate and graduate programs tailored to achieve your plans. Learn from dedicated faculty and be challenged to reach your full potential. Get involved in campus life with student activities that add value to your character and give distinction to your collegiate experience. Become a part of the Golden Lion story at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, where you'll be proud to be.
A wise man once said, "You can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea." What he meant was that knowledge is eternal. It's a lesson learned, a goal achieved, and it can be passed on from generation to generation, just like it is every day at Alcorn. Both knowledge and the character it takes to use it wisely. Alcorn, where knowledge and character matter.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner, reunited them, hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Toyota SWAC basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. 5 days of non-stop action, and it all goes down March 10th through the 14th. The SWAC is driven by passion and motivated by pride, because in the SWAC, history will be made. We do it for the love of the game. Visit www.swackhoops.org.
21-19, your halftime score. Let's immediately go to Jennifer, who's with the head coach at UAPB, Nate Kilman.
Hey, Coach, this is Jennifer. I'm talking to you real quick. You guys started out in the zone, and then you moved to man and had great success. Do you think it was the on-ball pressure that helped you guys get back in the game?
Yeah, we played them kind of like a boxing one at Alcorn, and it was pretty successful for us. And we wanted to do that here early because we didn't want number 20 to get started like she's getting started now. And when she get a feel of what's going on, she's hard to stop. And that's what we tried to do when we was in that little box zone against them. And we didn't execute it like we wanted to. But I thought we went man, completely man. We got our energy level got a little bit higher, and it allowed us to be able to play a little better.
So that in mind, you guys talking about that comeback. Now, in the final 4 minutes, you guys were amazing. How do you take that momentum into the second half?
Well, you know, you say amazing, but this game has been so funny. We done made some elementary mistakes that I've never seen our team make before. We just got to come back. We'll look for us to press a little bit more. Look for us to pick them up full court a little bit more and speed the game up a little faster. We're at home. We need to get our band involved, and hopefully we'll be a little bit more excited about what we're doing, the bench area and the players. So we're looking forward to the second half. Hopefully we can up the tempo.
Well, good luck, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Robert. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jennifer. Hey, February is Black History Month, and we'd like to honor one from each school for Alcorn State and for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Medgar Evers, in 1948, Evers enrolled at Alcorn College, now Alcorn State University, majoring in business administration. He also competed on the debate, football, and track team, sang in the choir, and was a junior class president. He earned his Bachelor of Arts in '52, mostly known for his efforts to overturn segregation after returning from overseas military service in World War II and completing his secondary education degree. He became active in the civil rights movement and named field secretary for the NAACP. And then, of course, for Arkansas Pine Bluff, the name L.C. Greenwood rings a lot of bells. Graduated from Arkansas A&M, now University at Arkansas Pine Bluff, where he was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers at 69 in the 10th round. In 71, he became the starting left defensive end and one of the 4 members of Pittsburgh's famous Steel Curtain. The 4-team Super Bowl champs would remain there until retirement in 81. Greenwood was 6'6" and weighed 245, was a 6-time Pro Bowl player and named to the NFL All-Pro teams in 74 and 75. Also named AFC 5 times, led the Steelers 6 times in sacks with a career total of 73.5. His highest single-season sack total was 11, which he attained in 74. Got to talk about the lady who's in charge at UAPB real quickly, and that, of course, is Carlisha Walker. Rate her performance in half number 1.
Well, Carlisha Walker is having a slow start, but she is leading the team with her energy. She is one of the few that are coming and that are playing on both ends of the court. So now she just has to lead her team. Usually when she plays well, they win or the game is pretty close. So she has to start getting them going more on offense.
3 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 3 turnovers in 13 minutes of playing time for Carlisha Walker. So here we go with half number 2. Nobody's had a large lead, by the way. Biggest lead of the half, 4, and it happened for both teams. Alcorn and UAPB. UAPB 6-2, their largest lead. And then you had that advantage 15-11 for Alcorn.
I know Coach Kilbert is attempting to show some pride here because him and Alcorn have an extensive history. Coach Kilbert served as an assistant coach at Alcorn from 1993 to 2001. At Alcorn, he won 170 games, 5 SWAC regular title championships, 2 SWAC tournament championships, and he had 2 NCAA appearances. So this is also a pride thing for him.
Cunningham walking into the timeline on the right side, looks out front, gives out front to Strain, over to Wilson Reed. Brown's got it on the opposite side. First of a twin bill. The men from UAPB and the men from Alcorn take to the hardwood about 20 minutes after this one wraps up. Headed the other way, Richardson 4-2, and it's the Golden Lions with the advantage.
Asia Richardson, she's just so tough. She's a freshman, but she's not letting the experience of these other players rattle her at all.
Destiny Ham picking up the personal. It is her second. Put in play to Strain. Strain scored the first 5 points for Alcorn, scored 1 more at the line, and has been quiet since.
Coach Edwards mentioned at the half that she is looking for Jasmine Strain to do much more than she is doing. She's expecting her to have a double-double, or at least to score in double figures.
Strain has had 2 double-doubles this year. Coming up with a loose ball, that is Haynes, has it taken away by Walker.
That was a bit of a passive pass that Alcorn needs to make the adjustment with. If you're going to make a pass, you have to make a sharp, crisp pass.
Goodman's got it, stepped inside the arc, backs out into the paint, leans in with a 1 hand for 2. And the Lady Golden Lions trying to grab some momentum to begin the second half.
That's Shammy Goodman, a freshman from Chicago, Illinois. Averaging 7.7, doing well with scoring with UAPB.
Wilson Reed with a putback in her first points of the game.
Wilson Reed, she is that cleanup woman for Alcorn, and Coach did mention that she is the one that helps maximize off of their offensive mistakes, and right there is a prime example.
Goodman walks it to the top of the key, resets the offense. 17:23 left to play in the game. Walker squaring up. Shot over Hayes. Bangs it off the window.
She took a while to do that. Had to think about which move she would use, but I'm happy. She's happy she scored the basket.
Richardson getting the steal and getting fouled.
Again, that's Asia Richardson from right here from Pine Bluff. I wonder how she feels going to school right in her own backyard.
It's how her parents feel. I mean, the travel costs are really low.
I wonder if they walk to the games. Well, not in this weather. You're not walking anywhere in this weather.
Richardson, first of two, and now you've got the largest lead of the game for UAPB.
And she shoots 78% from the line. So her knocking down these shots are imperative.
Lead grows to 6. Alcorn, 1 field goal in the second half.
UAPB turning up the pressure. Coach recognizing that his team was a bit too lackadaisical and making them put forth that effort that they need to put forth.
Brown's lob goes into Wells. Wells in the paint puts up an air ball, but that's due primarily to Campbell. Trying to scoop it in was Richardson.
She is really hustling. Got the rebound, came down, shot the ball, got her own rebound again, and got it and got it to the point guard to set up.
Walker at the elbow. Decides to shoot over Wells. It's Wells that comes down with a rebound.
UAPB has to move more on offense in order to get themselves open.
Now in front it goes to Wells. Campbell defending, almost stepped on that mid part of the floor. Wilson Reed squares up, back it goes to Strain. Brown out of the corner, fires away. It's about a foot short, but picked up, put up, got the rim, and got a shot clock despite the miss by Strain, the brand new shot clock.
It seems like Brown loves those on-the-run shots, but they've been working for her tonight, so can't complain about that.
Cunningham for 2. Nearly 5 minutes into the second half, a 4-point advantage that belongs to UAPB. And there was a reach. Reaching around and hooking. Richardson was Brown. Brown will go to the line, but that will happen after the timeout. 15-14 left to play in this one. A couple of buckets separate Lions and Braves.
In 1920, 6 schools came together to form a strong competitive alliance. That strong competitive alliance became the Southwestern Athletic Conference and stretches from the northeast of Alabama to the rolling plains of Texas, from the coastal marshlands of Louisiana to the Mississippi Delta to the foothills of Arkansas. Students of these 10 world-class institutions know the importance of academic achievement along with athletic excellence. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always stand as one. Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Alcorn State, Grambling State, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State, Prairie View A&M, Southern, Texas Southern, Arkansas Pine Bluff. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
29-25 advantage, home team on top. Leading scorers thus far, you've got a double-digit scorer in Olivia Brown for Alcorn with 10. 3 with 6 for Arkansas at Pine Bluff, Richardson, Ham, and Walker.
One thing that really hurt UAPB last game against Alcorn was that none of their players were in double digits. In order to win a game, you have to have at least 3 players in double digits, and they weren't able to push to that mark.
Had a couple of ladies hit the 9-point barrier, but nobody could get to 10. Right now, you've got 3 at 6, and still 15 minutes to play in this one.
UAPB is also missing the presence of Destiny Bruton, who has been an important part of this team, averaging 8 points, the second leading scorer of this team, and that's exactly what they need right now, a scorer. So, we offer our salutations to her. She's missing this game because she had to go take care of her grandmother, who is in hospice care, and she wished she could be here today, but you know, that's of course more important.
Walker hooked by Wells, and that's the reason she's at the line. There's Wells. Had that hand on the back.
That was a great, strong post move, but she really needs to get the ball high off the glass and give herself a chance to make that shot.
Cunningham to the top of the key. Bounce pass goes to Wilson Reed. Brown, who leads the team in scoring with 10, to Wilson Reed, who takes it off the glass.
UAPB is sagging off of Angelique Wilson Reed for the shot, but they need to make sure that they jump in front of her with that penetration, especially because they are already sitting back on the shot. That was a nice, strong move.
By the way, take the points off the board. Wilson Reed was charged with the offensive. That is her first foul of the game, so the bucket won't count.
Alcorn is putting on the pressure now.
In play to Carr, over it goes to Goodman. Nice job by Goodman. Spotted Victorian, and Victorian has 2.
That was a great finish by Victorian, but Alcorn really needs to, if they're going to press, needs to send a man back so that they won't have a wide open opportunity like that, like they just had.
Wilson Reed looking at Wells and Victorian battling in the paint. Wells may have the height advantage, but I'm betting on Victorian.
Yeah, Victorian knows how to use her body, how to push that post player on off the block.
Wells fouled by Victorian. That will be 3 on Victorian, who didn't play a whole lot in the first half because of the 2 personals, and picks up a 3rd.
Right, she's so important to this game. She has to make sure not to foul, not to get any silly fouls, and to play defense before the post player gets the ball. Yeah.
Wells with 1 more.
And she is a 6'2" sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee.
Haynes coming up with a loose ball, hands it over to Strain. Cunningham picking up the dribble, over it will go to Haynes. Nice move to the hoop for Haynes.
That is a great move, and part of the reason they're getting beat in transition, UAPB, is because of these turnovers. They're turning over and they're not getting rebound, and that's not giving them the best opportunity.
Better than 30 turnovers total thus far in the game.
Yeah, that's just sloppy play and mental errors that you cannot afford, and each team is doing it.
Back it goes to Cunningham, steps across the mid part of the floor. Setting the trap is Karin Ham. Wells trying to slide it inside to Haynes, and then Haynes gets fouled. And it will be the lady who was seated on the hardwood, Carlisha Walker.
That That was a great post up by Haynes in the middle, recognizing that she had that post-to-post advantage.
Brown from the short corner, short on the shot. But an offensive rebound for Strain.
Alcorn, who out-rebounded UAPB last game, is on the track to do the same thing again.
Cunningham. Strain will grab it, brings it to the glass, rolled around the cylinder and falls in. 6 straight scored now by Alcorn. There's the steal, there's Strain, and now the lead belongs to Alcorn State.
That was a great steal by Strain to recognize that, and a great finish. Alcorn, if they keep putting on this pressure, they're going to pull away from UAPB.
They were down by 7, 32-25, went on an 8-0 run. And there's that steal that gave them the lead.
UAPB has to recognize the press earlier and be in place so that the outlet can have someone to pass the ball to.
Olivia Brown charged with a foul that's got Carr shooting.
And that's Carissa Carr, a senior from Dearborn, Michigan. And she is shooting 48% from the line.
Cunningham with Goodman defending. Brings it to the arc, backs it out, over it goes to Strain. Strain thought about the 3, gets a little closer, trying to dish it over to Sepp. I'll make that to Wells. And there is a foul call. Foul is on Amber Hagee.
Strain went up hard on that play. And that's what they need to continue doing. Penetrate. Don't go east to west. Penetrate and give yourself the best shot.
Walker just about sat over here with us. Trying to get to the loose ball. Time out on the floor. 11:59 left to play. 36-33. UAPB.
Your life is an open book. At the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, you can take advantage of scholarship opportunities and acclaimed academics with undergraduate and graduate programs tailored to achieve your plans. Learn from dedicated faculty and be challenged to reach your full potential. Get involved in campus life with student activities that add value to your character and give distinction to your collegiate experience. Become a part of the Golden Lion story at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, where you'll be proud to be.
A wise man once said, "You can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea." What he meant was that knowledge is eternal. It's a lesson learned, a goal achieved, and it can be passed on from generation to generation, just like it is every day at Alcorn. Both knowledge and the character it takes to use it wisely. Alcorn, where knowledge and character matter.
SWAC Digital Network, proud to be in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. We will be in Birmingham on Saturday for the indoor track and field championships. And then on the 28th, Jackson, Mississippi. It will be Jackson State taking on arch rival Mississippi Valley State. And it's all right here on the SWAC Digital Network. Wells bringing it into the paint. Walker trying to take it away, and she will sit, look back to the official, and ask for a timeout. So UAPB will be in possession with 11 minutes, 46 seconds left to play. And what was initially a 30-second timeout has been turned into a full timeout. So with the full timeout, let's take the break too. Cold outside, basketball heating up on the inside. 36-33 UAPB.
Started my Camry. Went to the auction. Won a storage locker. Found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Toyota SWAC basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. 5 days of non-stop action, and it all goes down March 10th through the 14th. The SWAC is driven by passion and motivated by pride, because in the SWAC, history will be made. We do it for the love of the game. Visit www.swaghoops.org.
Leading scorer for UAPB's got ball in hand on the right side of the floor. That is Goodman. Has 8 thus far in the contest.
And that is about her average. And UAPB really needs her to continue scoring for them. So Alcorn is playing a 5-out right now and trying to get their shots off. It seemed like it was a bit of lack of focus on that last shot, though.
11 minutes left to play in this one. Goodman weaving right and left of the key. You mentioned, by the way, that the Gati Werema belief is that you got to have about 3 double-digit scores. Right now you got 2 for Grambling, none for UAPB.
Right, and Alcorn has to keep maximizing on the scoring. They have the next scorer, I believe, has 4 points, but they need more than 3 players to contribute offensively.
And it goes to Haynes, squares up, looks, bumps, and the bump was created by Haynes. Ran into Richardson, but the official says it's Haynes that initiated the contact. That is her 4th personal foul.
And that's one thing that Hayes struggles with at times is her fouling. Last game she also had 4 fouls, but she was able to play it to the end. There's a lot of basketball left in this game, so she really has to control her body.
Another low-scoring affair, another steal, 2, and another turnover. Wells from Strain for 2.
That is a great jump in the passing lane by Strain and a great pass up and finish by Wells.
Foul is called as it's brought to the hoop by Richardson. It is Strain picking up her 4th as well. Now that's a little different scenario when you've got just Haynes with 4. Okay, Mike can live with that. Now you got Haynes and Strain with 4.
Right, Alcorn cannot afford to miss that scoring presence on the floor right now. So whoever's on the floor needs to step up and take over that offensive space that is now left with the gap.
Misha Jones, the 6'4" senior from Memphis, Tennessee, set to check into the lineup as the result of Strain picking up her 4th personal.
They need to just be good teammates for each other, get open and finish around the basket.
36-35 score.
We have Diamond Richardson at the line, a junior from Long Island, New York, shooting 69%.
Front end of the 1-and-1 is a miss by Richardson. And there's a bump. She didn't mean to.
She didn't mean to, but Jasmine Cunningham was very savvy with that, was able to cut her off and let her momentum run into her. That's a smart point guard move.
Richardson picking up a foul. It is the 5th now on UAPB. Jones picking up the dribble near the strike, hands it over to Cunningham, brings it around the corner, turns the corner on Walker, It's Wells that comes up with a rebound. Turns around, fires, misfires, loose ball. Strain with 10 in the game, brings it into the corner, turns around, puts up the 12-footer, and the rebound belongs to Hagee.
We talked about rebounds earlier, how it's important that UAPB boxes out and rebounds. That was 3 possessions right there that Alcorn got off of rebounds.
Walker with a putback. Jones over to Wells. Wells trying to make the cut to the hoop. Walker distracted that cut momentarily, but Wells able to recover for 2.
That was a great way to lose it and go ahead and grab it, keep that intensity up to finish.
Walker over to Goodman into the opposite corner. That is Richardson bringing it to the paint. Off all kinds of fingertips, but the last one belonged to UAPB. Victorian checking back into the lineup for the Lady Lions. Also, McKinley Wormley in.
Jasmine Cunningham is doing a great job pushing the ball, and Alcorn just has to keep moving on offense. Give her an open outlet, an open look.
Cunningham, inside look, goes into the corner to Strain. There's a battle going on between those bigs, and one big gets it, Jones. The other, Victorian, may have fouled her. Let's see what the official says. And it is Victorian. She picks up her 4th personal. I'm feeling real comfortable in saying somebody's not going to play the entire game. You got Strain with 4. You've got Victorian with 4. You have got Haynes with 4.
Yeah. If you're an important part on offense, you have to make sure you don't get silly fouls. But Misha Jones is just such a big body. There's not really much you can do. You have to get your position, but at the end of the day, when she makes that move, it's kind of hard not to make contact with her.
Victorian. Over it goes into the corner, Hagee. Taken away, reaching in, Brown's got it. Bounce pass to Cunningham, leads the pack. Layup is good, and the lead belongs to Alcorn.
That's a great way to maximize off of a turnover to end it with the basket.
Over to Richardson, the glance inside. Hagee will walk into the corner. Victorian gives it over to Goodman. Shot clock at 10. Stolen away, Cunningham's got it. And reaching in to swat it away is Goodman, but she got the hand. I could hear the flesh popping here. And the foul will be called, and the shots will be taken after the break. There's a media timeout for media, so we'll take a timeout. 40-38 to Alcorn with 7:23 to go.
Your life is an open book. At the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, you can take advantage of scholarship opportunities and acclaimed academics with undergraduate and graduate programs tailored to achieve your plans. Learn from dedicated faculty and be challenged to reach your full potential. Get involved in campus life with student activities that add value to your character and give distinction to your collegiate experience. Become a part of the Golden Lion story at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, where you'll be proud to be.
A wise man once said, "You can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea." What he meant was that knowledge is eternal. It's a lesson learned, a goal achieved, and it can be passed on from generation to generation, just like it is every day at Alcorn. Both knowledge and the character it takes to use it wisely. Alcorn, where knowledge and character matter.
7:23 left to play as Cunningham prepares to step to the line. Walker is close to being that double-digit score for UAPB with 9. Goodman's got 8. Brown and Strain with 10 each to lead Alcorn. Keeping you updated, by the way, on the turnovers, 39 in the game. 21 by the Golden Lions. And you've got 18 by Alcorn. Dumped into the short corner to Walker, fires back out front. Goodman off on the three-pointer.
Alcorn is really doing a good job with this zone defense, and UAPB has to penetrate and find the open gaps if they want to be able to score or knock down those outside shots where they have been struggling to do thus far.
Another whistle, another foul. Goodman charged with the infraction. It will be foul number 3 on Goodman. Richardson checking back into the lineup. Out goes Richardson. You got Diamond coming in and Asia out. So one Richardson in for the other.
At the line, you got Jasmine Strand, who has been doing a great job tonight, averaging 66% from the line. A junior from Stockton, California. This Alcorn team, they have 7 new players and only 1 senior. So we expect some great things from them, not only in the tournament, but for the next couple of years. They're continuing to build, they're continuing to get stronger. And I'm excited to see how they'll be next year.
Carr with a miss, Victorian with the rebound. Over to Goodman, bumped by Cunningham.
They also have a great coach, Tanya Edwards, who's a former WNBA superstar. And she talks about how she gets out there and she plays with them sometimes. And I love how hands-on she is with them. She not only does she train and teach, but she shows them herself which moves and how to do them and positioning and lifting up their basketball IQ.
And it's good.
I know it's exciting to have a coach who's played at the highest level that you can possibly play.
Foul or a walk, you got a walk. One official, I think, wanted to call a foul. The other calls the walk, so the Golden Lions will have it. You played at some pretty high levels yourself this summer, by the way, overseas.
Yes, I played in Lebanon, and we actually won the Arabic Championship, which was so exciting and so fun to play. It's amazing to see how the similarities and the difference of basketball all throughout the world. How 2 steps is travel in some places, and a tap on the wrist is a technical foul. Some things you don't see here too much.
But it's still all about putting the ball into the hoop.
Oh yeah, at the end of the day, you have to put the ball in there. You have to score.
Speaking of scoring, Walker trying to bring it into the paint, taken away by Strain. Turns around, heads the other way in a 4-point ball game.
Walker just needs some help. When she's doing her move and she gets stuck inside there, she needs to have that. She needs to be able to make that open outlet pass.
Time out on the floor. Let's keep it right here and talk about some sports coming up. Bowling happens on the 20th through the 22nd in Arlington. You've got outdoor track and field the 24th through the 26th at the campus of Alabama A&M. Tennis April 10th through 12th in New Orleans. And that's all the stuff that's happening a little bit later on. Of course, in March, you've got basketball at the Toyota Center. And let's take a look at the conference standings and see who is currently atop. No surprise, Texas Southern at 10-1. We saw them about a week ago against Prairie View A&M. And there you see Alcorn at 6-6 and Pine Bluff at 3-9. So both teams would like some upward mobility in this one. Cunningham in play. Lanes in with the right hand, shot misses. Jones just reaches over Victorian, put it back up, couldn't get it to drop. It goes out, and it rolled out of bounds. And while it was rolling out of bounds, Strain had a hand on it. Four-point lead, not comfortable.
No, at this point, they're trading baskets, and someone really has to get a defensive stop here. Start getting more defensive stops.
Walker to Carr, kicks it out front to Goodman. Richardson wants it, got it. Puts it on the floor, drives the paint. Strain coming down with a rebound. Carr reached in and got the jump ball.
I think she was expecting more contact, and the ball slipped out of her hand because of it. But when you're penetrating to the basket, you have to be like a train and go straight forward. That was a great rebound by Alcorn.
Cunningham got Goodman all twisted around, able to bring it down the floor. Over it goes to Wilson Reed.
And Alcorn is out-rebounding UAPB by 10 boards. That makes a big difference in the game.
Goodman just picking the pocket of Cunningham, bumped by Wilson Reed, who looked skyward after committing the foul.
Yeah, as a point guard, it's frustrating to get your pocket picked, especially when the game is so close. But taking care of the ball is one of the important things and the keys to this game. So she just has to get it back.
Double bonus with Goodman shooting, trying to get to the double-digit figure.
And this freshman from Chicago, Illinois, shoots 78% from the charity stripe.
Right after this one, we give you inside the SWAC, and then, of course, game 2 of our doubleheader as the men from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and the Alcorn State men take to the hardwood here at the H.O. Clemens Center. Cunningham sliding between defenders, able to get it to Wilson Reed. Out front it goes to Cunningham. Shot clock dwindling down to 5. In and out for Wilson Reed. Walker's got it. Chance to tie, maybe take the lead. Over it goes to Goodman. Carr missing. Executed to almost perfection. The imperfect part was the miss as she went to the glass, and that's the most important part for Carr.
It definitely is, and that was a great backdoor pass. You just have to be a good teammate and finish.
Wells inside, wide open. Wilson Reed for 2.
That was a great recognition by Wells, seeing Reed cut into the basket, and Reed seeing the gap, seeing the open space and finishing. That's exactly what they need. Now they need a stop on defense.
Goodman for 3. And Goodman for 3. Timeout on the floor asked by Nate Kilbert. And with that shot within 1 are the Lady Golden Lions. A 30-second timeout. Let's keep it right here to remind you that not only tennis, not only track and field, not only bowling, but there is baseball and softball coming up this spring. Join us for the 2015 SWAC softball tournament at Wilson Morgan Park in Decatur, May 6th through 9th. And then baseball, it happens in New Orleans, 13th through the 17th of May. See you in Alabama or see you in Louisiana for softball and baseball this spring. And now they've turned it into a media timeout. So with a media timeout, we're going to take a break as well. 3:05 to play. Alcorn State by 1.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Toyota SWAC basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. 5 days of non-stop action, and it all goes down March 10th through the 14th. The SWAC is driven by passion and motivated by pride, because in the SWAC, history will be made. We do it for the love of the game. Visit www.swackhoops.org.
.305 left to play in the game. Put in play to Cunningham as we get action back underway. Cunningham winds up on the hardwood. She thought Goodman was the reason. Goodman is the reason that the lead belongs back to UAPB as she hits 2. Cunningham very slow getting up.
That's great pressure by Goodman. She is really on that offensive player, making sure that she is right there with them.
Out in front it goes to Strang, clock winding down, puts up the perimeter shot, no good. Battle for the loose ball, Walker coming up with a rebound. Wells sneaking up from the backside, taking it away.
Alcorn is slowing the ball down, but they are down by 1 point. So they need to find a way to score and to separate themselves from this UAPB team.
Walker spent time talking to a teammate, didn't realize Wells was sneaking up from the backside. Brown from downtown.
It's a great shot by Brown. She is doing exceptionally well in scoring this game. Last time against UAPB, she had 0 points. So she is making her mark today.
One bucket advantage for Alcorn. Carr into the paint. Victorian trying to get the putback Strain with a loose ball.
Alcorn is dominating the board right now. They have the height, but UAPB has to put a body on someone. That's the story of the game. Box out and rebound.
Alcorn trying to avoid losing 4 out of 5 as Brown lost it out of bounds. And there was that earlier slip that temporarily had Cunningham hurt and temporarily gave UAPB the lead as Goodman hit the 2. Handed to Richardson, who's back in. Asia Richardson. Walker taking on Henry. And Henrietta Wells with those long arms snagging the rebound. Victorian ties her up. Jump ball, and will stay on the Golden Lion into the floor or Alcorn. Let's see. It will stay in the hands of UAPB.
That is a great defensive, strong rebound by Wells.
And now there's a timeout on the floor. And let's see if the officials are going to let us go for a half minute or a minute. Speaking of a minute, exactly 1 minute left to go in this game. 49-47 score. A reminder that we head to Jackson, Mississippi on the 28th. Jackson State playing host to Mississippi Valley State, and those games have a little earlier start time, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon for the ladies, and the men's game will follow.
So this is a nail biter. It may come down to the final seconds. They've been trading baskets the entire game. So defense is going to be the important factor here. They have to tighten up on defense. Both teams are pressing at this point, but taking care of that ball and getting a shot at the end is what's going to separate the winner from the loser.
For the baseline, Carr puts it in play. Bumped by Strang. Carr will do it again. UAPB near the bottom of the conference standings, trying to move up a bit. Alcorn at the mid part. Walker ties it up.
That is the person who has to have the ball in their hands in the last minute of the game. And they recognized that, and she was able to finish. That is a great finish by Walker.
Tied at 49 apiece. Care to take a gander at who's going to win this thing?
It's anybody's game at this point. It's just a matter of who plays the hardest in this last minute.
Of course, you got 4 individuals, or at least 3 with 4 fouls. And I made the prediction earlier, you know, I'm very good in the predicting department. Somebody would exit the game early. Maybe they're not. I mean, nobody is fouled out. We've had the ladies that do have foul issues able to abstain from those foul problems. Nate Kilbert, by the way, not on the official right there. That Nate Kilbert is not a real demonstrative coach, but that's as demonstrative as he's going to get. And obviously, he's not particularly pleased with something that transpired.
He may have wanted a foul call at the end there, but it was up in the air.
Put in play to Cunningham. Obviously, you don't have to, and nor should you want to foul if you're UAPB.
This game can easily go into overtime.
Strain was on the hardwood. I think she asked for the timeout, and I believe she got it.
She expected a foul, but when she saw that she wasn't going to get one, she quickly called for a timeout. That was a smart thing to do because the UAPB was all over her.
Both teams down to a timeout each, 49 apiece. Of course, if we go to OT, they'll get rewarded with some extra timeouts to use. Who are you trying to get into the hands of? I mean, is it Haynes, leading scorer? Is it Strain? And now I'm saying Haynes, leading scorer. Typically, not today,
Typically.
though. Strain has been the leading scorer. She and Brown, of course, Brown popping a couple of threes. So are you looking for Brown? Who are you looking for?
You look for Brown because she's been great shooting, but also Strain because she's been attacking the basket. One thing that they need to do is take the higher percentage shot. I mean, it's enough time to make those layups and to get the ball inside. So they'll really have to capitalize on that.
If you're Alcorn defensively, though, you absolutely don't want to foul here.
You do not want to foul, especially with so many players in foul trouble. This is the time that you really need to focus and play your best basketball.
Alcorn to bring it in from the near sidelines. And when I say near, I mean very near, right here in front of our broadcast table. Brown to handle the honors. Cunningham into the corner. Swing pass goes into Haynes. Haynes playing with 4, missed the shot. It is Victorian with the rebound. Haynes reached in, trying to take it away. You got a jump ball, and the possession arrow says we stay on this end of the floor.
That was a gamble, but that was that. If you're going to do it, you got to commit. And she committed and went for that ball, and she got her hands on it, and now it's hers. That's the energy that they need.
A walk. UAPB will have the last opportunity of the game if they wish.
Alcorn was really excited, and all their players ran in. Hayes got a ball on it, and unfortunately, Angelique ran into her and caused the turnover.
And now there was a timeout called by UAPB. So now both teams are without timeouts. Let's take a break with 16 and a half to play and tied at 49.
Toyota SWAC basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. 5 days of non-stop action, and it all goes down March 10th through the 14th. The SWAC is driven by passion and motivated by pride, because in the SWAC, history will be made. We do it for the love of the game. Visit www.swackhoops.org.
49 apiece, 16 and a half to play. Alcorn comes in having won on Saturday. University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, they need to win. It's a psychological pick-me-up. They're near the bottom of the conference standings. They'll have possession of the basketball. And you got to say, at least the current advantage belongs to the home team.
Yes, having the ball with this much time left on the clock and being at home with this crowd cheering for you, hopefully they maximize off of all those factors.
For UAPB, it's one of two things. It's either a win or overtime. Let's see which it will be. Alcorn obviously wants the basketball. If you are UAPB, you want a shot, you want to make it, you want to hit it with about 3 seconds or less left to play in the game. Walker turns around, fires, gets fouled on the three-point try with 0.8 seconds left to play.
Wow, Alcorn really needs to make sure on defense that they don't foul with so little time left on the clock.
Had that hand hooked on her shoulder.
And that's Hayes, and that's her 5th foul. She has been their leading presence as far as energy, as far as roughness and toughness in the bottom.
So Haynes has fouled out. Walker will have 3 opportunities to give Arkansas at Pine Bluff the advantage.
And Walker is a 61% free throw shooter, so we'll see how she deals with pressure.
It was right there, that hand. If the hand is held skyward, if the fingers are pointed upward, there's no foul committed, we're going to overtime. But she had that hand kind of cupped over the shoulder.
I don't know if she expected her to shoot or not, but that is not a smart foul.
Walker with 3. Now she's got 2 opportunities.
As this team leader, she needs to step up and knock these 2 down. At least 1.
A lot of pressure taken off this shot by that made free throw.
It's always unfortunate for the opposite team when it comes down, when the game comes down to free throws.
Put in play to Cunningham. Jones handed to Cunningham about 80 some odd feet away from the other end of the floor. You would think with 0.8 seconds remaining in the game, at least you're trying a lob to about the mid part of the floor and give yourself a halfway decent opportunity at a last second shot, but not so.
Not so. Yeah, I would try to get the ball in the middle or a baseball pass down court, but you just have to learn from these mistakes and maximize and the opportunities that you do have.
This one is over. Home team wins it. We're back to wrap up the ladies session and get into Inside the SWAC right after this.